Cumberland Stories is made possible by the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, Great Smokies, Great Outdoors, 1-800-438-1601. Also by Brunton. Get out there. Ithaca, New York has a lot of resources. There's 102 miles of trout streams and 28 miles of warm water streams. Cayuga Lake and its tributaries supply terrific bass fishing, but maybe one of Ithaca's most important resources is a program founded here that's designed to give young anglers a keen interest in protecting the waters they love. These kids, who otherwise may have never known the thrill of fishing, will most likely grow up to become good stewards of all of our resources.
The Community Fly Fisher program started in 1989 as the Fly Fisher Apprentice program, started by Phil Genova as a 4-H fishing club. He quickly realized that fly fishing allowed folks a better understanding of aquatic resources, and the kids got really into it. A couple mayflies.
Yeah, I've had plenty of swallows down here. I've seen plenty of smallmouth.
And I'm home from the summer in college, and I can get back involved, and it's just great to be able to get back involved with a new group of apprentices and with a new fly shop.
About a year ago, we were able to actually open the Community Fly Fisher, which is a full retail fly shop and environmental center. So we're providing a resource to the community. We're also providing opportunities for the kids to learn some real skills. We provide year-round classes in basic fly fishing. We provide trips, educational trips on various species. We have a winter fly tying program that's about 10 weeks long. Our classroom is also used as a meeting place for local conservation programs, as well as our local Trout Unlimited chapter, which is very involved with our program. What we've done is develop fly fishing clubs around the community, and from those clubs we recruit kids into an apprentice training program where they gain skills to become fly fishing educators.
My favorite part of it is teaching a class. Just, you know, maybe one kid in every class will see a little spark in their eye or something, and you can see that they're gonna take the same thing that you got out of it.
We have a number of adult mentors who have been involved in our program for a number of years, and as the kids come up through the ranks, they're put in a peer leadership role, and they actually start educating the new younger apprentices. And so we have 3 or 4 generations of apprentices involved in the program right now. As a part of our apprentice training, we go out into the field to provide various experiences that give them a greater understanding of their resources and techniques to use for fly fishing so that they can become competent anglers and then share the knowledge that they gain. We'll go out to a site, and the first thing we do is look at the site, figure out what the natural setting is, what type of environment we're in. Then we'll go in and do an aquatic sampling and take a field sample of what the insects are and whatever critters we might find. And what you got?
Crayfish.
Oh, baby crayfish. Such a baby. As you get the samples, you guys, put them in the tub so that we can get a good sampling of what's going on.
We typically find pilgramites, stoneflies, crane flies, a lot of caddis, a lot of caddis larvae, crayfish, sculpins, a lot of bait fish certain times of year. Seems like we're seeing a lot of mayfly nymphs though today.
From there, we'll make our decisions on what types of flies we're going to use, how we're going to fish that water body. Looks like we'll be wanting to use lots of little nymphs here, that's for sure.
Little nymphs. Okay, guys, so what will y'all fish? What patterns will y'all use?
I'm probably going to use a little caddis or a little
Midge, that's a good one.
And the senior apprentices will help the junior apprentices, and overall we have a really good time. It's a great experience to see them get so excited. They have such great attitudes. And this teaches patience in ways that we don't normally see. We have a lot of kids who are real excited that settle right down and concentrate on the experience, and the satisfaction of catching fish is real exciting to everyone involved.
These are a little nasty, huh?
Response.
You had him, Cosmo.
Let's have a double header.
He does not want to come in.
Yeah.
gorgeous fish.
All right, that's definitely one of the better ones, huh?
Yeah.
He does not want to come in.
Take
Pick them up kind of
Bob, hold the
upside
rod. Yeah, get them upside down. Bob, hold the rod.
Got the rod.
Right. Great. Kids are more and more becoming detached from the natural world. And by getting them involved in our program, we find they have a greater sense of ownership, attachment, and appreciation for the outside world, and particularly the aquatic resources. Away he goes.
This is so important for the youth education and just teaching our generation to love the outdoors and not just make it into a shopping mall.
Most people think of New York as just a city, but there's lots of resources here. Great fishing. Some of the best fishing in the world is right in New York. And Ithaca itself is there's state parks everywhere. It's beautiful.
Oh, you have got to catch this fish.
It's one of them.
Oh, he's following it. Strip. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, he went away. He turned away. He wants it though, Cosmo. Yep, it's there.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the spot. You just put it right down Broadway.
There you go. Beauty.
It's not right.
Oh, he's still looking at it. Oh, golly. Love that. Maybe you just strip, stop. Okay, I can see him now.
We get a number of kids who kind of are undefined in school. They don't fit into any particular group, and they get involved in our program, and it gives them a real sense of self-worth and inner confidence that really has shown a great deal of improvement in academic performance. We have a number of kids who are questionable about if they wanted to go to school and continue going to school, who go on to college. It's very empowering.
Well, I've learned how to tie a lot of new flies and knots, techniques, all sorts of different things.
Our program was the recipient of a startup grant that was made available statewide as part of the Canal Corridor initiative to revitalize the economics of the Canal Corridor. And so we were one of 3 projects that received funding. And that funding has been used as a first-year operational grant to get the program off and running.
Okay, we used to go out there.
I
When
love
I was a
fishing.
kid, we used to go out to Provincetown, all the way to the other one.
I'd go to like jetties and stuff.
This program really uses fly fishing as a medium for interpersonal growth and real retail skills, and as well resource stewardship. Because fly fishing involves a great understanding of the aquatic ecology, our kids become invested in the local waterways, and as a result of that become stewards of our resources.
One thing that's very important is just to have a passion like fly fishing, I think. I mean, there's a lot of kids these days with nothing to do but get in trouble, and it's something, it kind of takes you in a more positive environment. It's just, I mean, you're out with nature, and I think that's something that's very important for kids, but everybody to keep in touch with.
That's all you, Colin. You saw the rise. It's right there. Little brownie.
It looks kind of like a rainbow. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Good job.
There it goes. Bye-bye, fishy.
Working on establishing a national outreach or a standardization on how fly fishing education can be adopted by various communities in the schools, through the Boy Scouts have just recently developed a Boy Scout merit badge for fly fishing. We're really trying to use this program as a replicable model for other communities interested in finding something for their kids to do and somehow to get a greater appreciation for the outside world. This program rings real true to myself. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I was basically an urban youth. I learned the real power of volunteerism through the ski patrol, and I find this program really empowers youth to feel good about giving back. And for me, that's real gratifying to see youth feeling that empowerment and helping others.
Way to be, Justin.
Having a program like this is huge for any community, and I know it's great for this community, and it's been great for myself and many other kids to be able to take advantage of these resources that we have.
The do's and don'ts of retriever training, with emphasis on don'ts. It all starts out pretty innocently. Your 5-year-old's in the backyard, she's throwing a stick or two for your trusty retriever. That is where the dreaded disease begins, the stick addiction. Many a great Labrador, Golden, and Chessie have fallen victim to this dreaded disease. Let me paint a picture for you. You're in the field, your buddies are with you, you've worked hard all summer, you want to show them what she's got. You knock down a few ducks. She fires out a perfectly straight line to the area of the fall. What does she do? She knocks the pintail drake out of the way, picks up a piece of kindling, firewood, flies back to the blind. It's not a pretty sight. Do not throw sticks for your retrievers. There's nothing positive about a stick in a retriever. Another example for you, tug of war. There's nothing finer than hanging out with your pup. You're on the floor, you got a sock, you're playing a little tug of war, she's 9 weeks old, a ball of fur. What a great time. When you realize how much that ATV, that shotgun, that hunting leash, and the thousands it took to get your dog ready, you'll realize that every duck is very expensive, especially when your buddies are laughing at you because you can't seem to get one back to the blind that's not in 1,000 pieces because she's so good at tug of war because you've been practicing since she's 9 weeks old. There's no place for tug of war with a dog. Give means give. Teach them to give it to you when you tell them to. What I'm trying to get at here is 99.9% of all bad habits are taught. Think before you throw. And don't be alarmed when she knocks that duck out of the way to pick up that stick. She's just been doing what you trained her to do, right?
Yella Dog Diaries is brought to you by HuntSmart.com, America's premier source of products for hunters and their dogs. Cumberland Stories is made possible by Brunton. Get out there. And by the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Great Smokies, great outdoors. 1-800-438-1601.
Stay. Oh, man, is that good. There he is, right there.
You were telling me that you basically have 3 tips that you would tell an amateur photographer, somebody like me, that just wanted a neat shot of my dog. To me, it seems hard to get.
Just simplify things. Pick something that your dog's good at doing. I think everybody really wants a photograph of a dog with a greenhead mallard in their mouth,
right.
or a big Canada goose, or a pheasant, or something. But all dogs aren't good at holding something that long. Sometimes they get sad and they're droopy. No, don't shoot that. Maybe they're really good and pretty at sitting, or they're really good at laying down and closing their eyes and sleeping. Shoot that. That's wonderful.
When you talk about propping a shot, what kind of props do you like to bring? You got things in your truck that you bring on shoot?
The truck is always full of props. You never know when you're going to run into a good shot.
Well, show me what you got.
I like the nostalgia of waterfowl hunting. And I love old wood decoys, and
Those are gorgeous. These are gorgeous in themselves.
they are. They always look good in a photograph. You and I were talking about emotions. When people look at a photograph, right? When people see that, they automatically, it brings them back, you know. It brings them back to maybe a better time in their life. You don't want it to overpower the shot. You want the dog to be the main focus of the shot, but just to suggest maybe a time or an era or a feeling that you're after in that shot. Maybe you're out goose hunting and you got your dog laying down there, and then put those decoys in the background, maybe have them soft looking in the background. It suggests we're out goose
It just
hunting.
puts the dog in the environment, right?
That's right. An old gunning coat, this one happened to be my dad's.
That's great.
And I keep all that stuff. And
These older things just have so much character.
I look for, you know, antique stores, anything. I look for props. Old hunting hats and this is actually an old fishing creel.
Oh,
but
really?
it's got great color.
Yeah.
It looks like an old gunning
It
bag.
does.
You might put shells in it.
Yeah.
I use that.
Oh, these are great.
Handmade duck calls, duck bands.
And what do you use this for?
That's a cap pistol. It's not a real handgun.
Okay.
It's a cap pistol. If I'm photographing a dog and I want a lot of action in the water, or they've got a bird in their mouth. Remember we were talking about, they got a bird in their mouth, sometimes they're real droopy. Mark, you just pop a cap pistol and up they go.
What about exposure? I don't want to talk about apertures and film speeds and all that stuff.
Just think about, you know, light, your available light that you have. If it's going to be a bright day, it's better to shoot early in the morning or late in the evening. Then it's not too contrasty, and your camera meter will meter that. It won't lie to you.
Right. We always hear people talk about the golden hour, and that's really not only is the light softer, but I think it kind of changes color, don't you?
Well, you get that warm amber cast to everything, and it's
gorgeous.
Warm. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Hard to miss.
But then talk about composing a shot. I think a lot of people think they have to be an artist or or have an artistic vein but there's some concrete things you can tell people about composing a shot.
Basic design. If I'm going to shoot a dog and it's a horizontal shot, I'll have the dog off to one side of the frame. I'll try to get his head to move one way. And the way he's looking, I'll have 2/3 of that frame as dead space. I think that space suggests a larger thought. You know, and adds drama. It adds drama to the photograph.
There are some shots though that you might shoot centered up. You know, I've seen that one shot where the dog's bearing down. It's pretty centered,
Water's
right?
flying.
Yeah.
It's dead center. It's dead center this way. But horizontally, I'll have it 1/3 of the way down or 2/3 of the way up, depending on what he's doing. And I get that request a lot from people. Just as something fun to do. Would you shoot a photograph of, the dog with the family? Again, get them all doing the same thing. If you can get your dog to sit or you get your dog to lay down, if your dog wants to lay down, then everybody get down.
Oh.
Get down, lay down, relax. Just like you're all chilling. I like to get all the eyes in one spot. You're going through film and this child's eyes are out here, the dog's looking over here. I want them all there. So get somebody else to go in back of the camera. Maybe the dog likes a treat. Hold up a treat, make sure he knows you have it.
Right.
Move the treat, and then tell everybody else in the picture, look at that treat.
Great tip.
Then shoot, then you're all looking at it.
Yeah.
You'll get the shot.
That's great. That's great. What about kids? Always good shots of dogs and kids, right?
That's easy to shoot.
That's like falling off of...
Just hold the camera on them and keep shooting.
Yeah.
They'll do something.
Last one, which is critical, and that is, I'm sure...
They got to be in focus.
and sometimes that's the hardest
Oh,
thing
they're
to do.
terrible. You get your phone. Oh.
Yeah.
and I still do that a lot. I get a big batch of film back, and I'm all excited, and I just nail a pounder. And you look, it's just, and it's not sharp. And I want them so sharp you can shave with them.
I think that's one thing about your photographs that really appeals to me is when you see those shots of those dogs running in the water and you can see those water droplets hanging in the air that we can't even see with our eyes, but you stop it and it's just crystal clean. That's just great.
It helps to shoot a lot of film. Yeah.